to another episode of Gamer Daddy. It is 6:20 in the morning on Wednesday, and I don't know how much time I have to podcast. My boss is supposed to be back in town today from Colorado, doing unmentionable things to unmentionable people. No, I don't think that's really what's going on. But he's back, so I don't know when that's going to be. And I just posted I decided to do some changes with my channel, and instead of doing a raw preview of what's to come for the episode, I just decided to change that into doing a essential weekly vlog of me prepping for the podcast, talking about what's going on, and giving a slight preview of the game. And that's how I'm going to run it, because Acast still puts my episodes up on YouTube, so it just makes it a little easier to just do that instead of essentially doing the same thing. So if I can market it as something else, that's better, because that's what I want. As everyone knows, I am tired because I started doing this at stupid 6 o'clock in the morning. That's okay, because I have iced coffee today. Anyways, let's drop a preview of what the game is right now before we get into it. So anyways, if you didn't know by that beautiful melody after that beautiful song, after that cloudy, thunder crashing intro, today's game is Link's Awakening. So in the vlog, what I was saying was I haven't played this game in 24 years, and much like the Kirby I've mentioned last episode, Kirby's Dream Land, I haven't played this in 24 years, and it is one of my favorite of all time Legend of Zelda games, and it's one of the games that I try to speedrun. I think I got this game down to where I was beating it in under 3 hours, which is pretty good for a Legend of Zelda game, I guess. And that was with getting all the seashells. Anyways, we'll get into that. The issue, though, I sound like Porky Pig for a second. But the big issue, though, is there is a original version of Link's Awakening that came out, and then there was a DX version. Now, I never got to play the DX version, but I always wanted to, because I guess there's a bunch of extras on it. So anyways, let's get into the game. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX for Game Boy Color is an updated re-release of Link's Awakening with several new additions, the most notable of which being the entire game is now in color. It was released just after Ocarina of Time. The engines and color palette in both Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages games are likely based on Link's Awakening DX. It can also be played on a Game Boy with some features disabled. The game was also made available on the Nintendo 3DS eShop on June 7, 2011 at the price of $5.99 US. So to get into some of the information on the game, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX was developed by Nintendo, published by Nintendo. The designers are Yoshinori Tsuyama. Man, I'm going to kill myself doing this. I don't know why I do this. Supervisors Takashi Tezuka, Kazumi Totaka, Minako Hamano, Kozue Ishikawa, Yuichi Ozaki, and Koji Kondo. So Yuichi Ozaki and Koji Kondo and the other three before that were all sound composers and sound designers. Release date in America was December 15th, 1998. I should do the math on that to make sure that's the correct amount of time. Let's see here real quick. Hold on. 2000, 2021 minus 1998. 23 years ago. Okay. So it's been 23 years. So we got that. So Japan, it released December 12th, 1998, and I think that's European Union to the UK, January 1999. What's crazy though is that December in America and December in Japan, and they literally released 3 days apart from each other. That's crazy. And then of course June 7th, 2011 on 3DS Virtual Console. So it's rated E at the ESRB. It's a PEGI 7 and a CBG 8+, and it is technically a remake, I guess. So let's bust into the story here. So after the events of A Link to the Past, the hero Link travels by ship to other countries to train for further threats. A storm destroys his boat at sea, and he washes ashore on Koholint Island, where he is taken to the house of Terran by his daughter Marin. She is fascinated by Link and the outside world, and tells Link wishfully that if she were a seagull, she would leave and travel across the sea. After Link recovers his sword, a mysterious owl tells him that he must wake the windfish, Koholint's guardian, in order to return home. The windfish lies dreaming in a giant egg on top of Mount Tamaranch, and can only be awakened by the 8 instruments of the sirens. Link proceeds to explore a series of dungeons in order to recover the 8 instruments. During his search for the 6th instrument, Link goes to the ancient ruins. There he finds a mural that details the reality of the island, that it is merely a dream world created by the windfish. After this revelation, the owl tells Link that this is only a rumor and only the windfish knows for certain whether it's true. Throughout Koholint Island, nightmare creatures attempt to obstruct Link's quest for instruments as they wish to rule the windfish's dream world. After collecting all 8 instruments from the 8 dungeons across Koholint, Link climbs to the top of Mount Tamaranch and plays the Ballad of the Windfish. This breaks up the egg in which the windfish sleeps. Link enters and confronts the last evil being, a nightmare that takes the form of Ganon and other enemies from Link's past. It's fine. Well, really, it confronts him as every boss you fought in the game. Its final transformation is Deathel, a cyclopean dual tentacle shadow. After Link defeats Deathel, the owl reveals itself to be the windfish's spirit, and the windfish confirms that Koholint is all his dream. When Link plays the Ballad of the Windfish again, he and the windfish awaken. Koholint Island and all its inhabitants slowly disappear. Link finds himself lying on a ship's driftwood in the middle of the ocean, with the windfish flying overhead. If the player did not lose any lives during the game, Marin is shown flying after the ending credits finish. Which is crazy because you're stranded out in the middle of the ocean with your feet dangling in open water. That's scary as hell. Of course, like most of the Legend of Zelda series, Link's Awakening is an action-adventure game focused on exploration and combat. The majority of the game takes place from an overhead perspective. The player traverses the overworld of Koholint Island while fighting monsters and exploring underground dungeons. Dungeons steadily become larger and more difficult and feature nightmare boss characters that the player must defeat, taking different forms in each dungeon and getting harder to defeat each time. Success earns the player heart containers, which increase the amount of damage the player character can survive. When all of the player's hearts containers have been emptied, the game restarts at the last doorway entered by the character. Defeating a nightmare also earns the player one of the 8 instruments necessary to complete the game. Damn it, I just spilled my coffee. Link's Awakening was the first overhead perspective Zelda game to allow Link to jump. This enables side-scrolling sequences similar to those of the earlier Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which is a game I need to play. I hear it's not as great, and I've played a little bit of it, but yeah, I need to play it. Players can expand their abilities with items, which are discovered in dungeons. and through character interactions. Certain items grant access to previously inaccessible areas and are needed to enter and complete dungeons. The player must steal items from the game's shop, but doing so changes the player's character's name to Thief for the rest of the game and causes the shopkeeper to knock out the character upon re-entry of the shop. Oh man, that was... I always thought maybe you could sneakily steal something from the shop owner, but man, that sucker catches you so easy. And yeah, every time you go in, when you go in again after stealing something, you get to keep it, but he electrocutes you until you're knocked out. In addition to the main quest, Link's Awakening contains side missions and diversions. Collectible secret seashells are hidden throughout the game. When 20 of these are found, the player can receive a powerful sword that fires energy beams when the player's character is at full health. Similar to the sword in the original Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening is the first Zelda game to include a trading sequence minigame. The player may give a certain item to a character who in turn gives the player another item to trade with someone else. It is also the first game in the Zelda series in which the A and B buttons may be assigned to different items, which enables more variable puzzle and item combinations. Other series elements originating in Link's Awakening include fishing and learning special songs like Pony Ocarina that later. The latter mechanic is essential to the next Zelda game release, Ocarina of Time.
So I took a little bit of a pause break here because I realized that for some reason my microphone wasn't plugged in right, and I am specifically recording from my laptop's microphone. But weird thing is now it's showing that I'm recording hella loud, so I guess I'll just go with it again. I hate when this happens. Yeah, so here we go. And like I said, I'm sorry. I will try to increase the sound in areas that I can. So yeah, let's do this. So what we're going to jump into now is we're going to jump into the differences between DX and the normal game. Like I said, I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder so that it pops on here. From what it looks like it's picking up my Snowball microphone right now because it's popping up way louder than it was. But I don't think I'm talking any louder than I was anyway. So here we go. So the difference between DX and Link's Awakening is the camera shop. In northern Ukuku Prairie is a camera shop owned by a mouse photographer. At certain times in the game, the photographer will take a photo of Link and the event. The photo can then be viewed at any time in the photo album within the shop, and the photograph will sometimes fade in 7 different colors. When viewed, there are a total of 12 photographs, and each can be printed by the Game Boy printer. I always thought the Game Boy printer was cool, and I wanted one. The Game Boy printer function does not work with the Nintendo eShop release of the game on the Nintendo 3DS, as the original hardware is not compatible to console anyways. One of the photographs is taken within the photo shop by asking the photographer to take Link's picture. He will ask Link several questions if Link wants his photo taken. This photograph actually has an alternate photo if Link agrees that he wants his photo taken. He will pose with a peace sign. If he answers all of the questions with no, he will be stunned by the camera's flash. There is no way to get both photos in a single game file. To actually start getting photographs, Link will need to visit the photo shop to get his picture taken. Afterwards, the mouse will give him a photo album. Link will only be able to encounter other photographs events once he has gotten this photograph and the photo album, else the events would be ignored. The mouse will not take a photo of Link if he has Madame Meow Meow's Chain Chomp, Bow Wow, or the Blue Rooster following him. If Marin is following him, all photos except those that involve her are inaccessible. Man, I forgot about Madame Meow Meow's Chain Chomp, Bow Wow, and the Blue Rooster. And we'll see if we can get that kind of stuff up so that we can talk about it. One of the most notable changes to Link's Awakening DX is the optional Hidden Color dungeon. Unlike other dungeons in the game, it is shorter than most. Link can go into the dungeon as soon as he returns Bow Wow to Madame Meow Meow after clearing the second dungeon, Bottle Grotto. Bow Wow is essentially a chain chomp like in Mario. And I'll have to get into it because I can't remember. I can't remember what why she gives them to you. I think you trade something to her. Although the updated version overall is compatible with previous Game Boy models, the dungeon has many puzzles that are highly based on actual colors. Therefore, the color dungeon cannot be entered when playing Link's Awakening DX on older models, thus requiring the use of Game Boy Color. Oh man, those shells at Nintendo. The game has been given a color... the differences, there are graphical differences, one being a color palette. The original had an all-green Super Game Boy Color palette, but no special SGB borders. DX has a Super Game Boy border and a standard color palette. The instruments of the sirens now fade in 7 different colors. Fade in and out effect are less exaggerated, such as when using a bomb or a dungeon warp. So basically, gameplay differences: the photographer and the photo side quests were added. An additional dungeon called Color Dungeon, which we talked about, was added. It was added to take advantage of the game's Game Boy Color screen. Therefore, it is inaccessible when players on the Game Boy. The reward from completing the dungeon is a colored tunic that boosts Link's attack or defensive power. Ooh, that's cool. The start menu has been modified to show the different color tunics if selected. If select is pressed, various chest contents were changed in the dungeon. Some areas have had their landscapes changed between the game. The genie boss now throws fireballs more slowly. There's various glitches, and so one of the changes with updating to color and the Game Boy Color is for the DX is there were various glitches and bugs that were fixed. The title screen has been slightly altered, more noticeable being the addition of clouds around the egg. Additional dialogue has been added, for example, upon receiving the level 2 sword, which is awesome. In the original Japanese and localized versions, except the US, Martha the Mermaid loses her bikini top in all localized DX versions, but not the Japanese DX. Now she loses her necklace. Oh man. The German version of the game has new dialogue for Cukeman, which removes the sexual illusions that were originally said in the original game. Whoa. I don't remember any of that. The stone slabs were changed into owl statues that resemble the game's owl character, and the stone slab fragments were also changed into stone beaks. More hints were also added. The secret ending has been changed. Instead of Marin floating across the screen with wings, she is now seen as a seagull with her image on the screen. Additional music was composed by Yuichi Ozaku, who also wrote music for Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Players can no longer skip all the characters' dialogue by pressing B. So when I played this game, sorry, that was really loud. When I played this game, I played it about 12 times, and I was trying to get, like I said, down past 2 hours. There are some speedrunners that I'm going to go over for time. So there's a guy, I guess number 1, and it's an any with an ace. He did it in 2 minutes and 12 seconds in 2020. There's a guy that did it no ace at any percent at 4:34 on May 25th, April 24th, 2019, 7:49. April 12th, 2021, 31:57, February 27th. So now we're getting into any percent no warps or system transitions or out of bounds. Once you hit February 27th at 48:59, they're using no out of bounds because out of bounds is what kind of makes it easy to do everything. This one is a no save and quit, wrong warp, or out of bounds. It was 51:31 on January 26, 2021. May 8th, 2021, there was 100% completion in 32:44 by the same guy who completed it in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. There's a guy that did 100% no wrong warp or out of bounds, and in an hour 16:39 on February 3rd. guy did it in 16 minutes 15 seconds, just getting all instruments. And then a guy did it on the 6th of June 2020 in 28:46 reverse dungeon order. So it looks like best time for 100% full game was 32:44. That's really impressive. I wish I can do this. Let me see if I can figure out where this sits chronologically. So it looks like it's it is like, so if it takes place after Link's Awakening, it is, or I mean Link to the Past. Okay, so it's essentially the fourth chronological game in the series. I guess there's a huge like timeline tree that, depending on which way Link goes in one game or whatever, it becomes what the next transitioning game is. Yeah, I found the list a while ago, but I don't know. I can't say offhand. Maybe I'll see if I can find it now. So we're going to get into, now that we've covered all the basic info of the game and speedrunning the game, we're going to get into the equipment and items of the game. So there's just the main, the first item you get is the sword. Link will find the sword in Toronobo Shores at the beginning of Link's Awakening. It is the primary weapon for the whole game, and it should be equipped at all times except when Link needs some other item, obviously. The Koholint sword is the level 2 sword. It's rewarded for 20 secret seashells, and it is in Seashell Mansion south of Canalet Castle. It is a better sword by far and shoots lasers, so you can't really go wrong. There's the normal shield. You receive it like shortly after Link wakes up. And then later you get the Mirror Shield. Mirror Shield resides in Eagle's Tower, the 7th dungeon in Link's Awakening. It can reflect certain types of beams, like fire, that the old shield could not reflect before. Although it's obtained as the dungeon's item, it has little use in the battle with Evil Eagle. It blocks his feathers so Link won't fall off the towers as easily. I thought the Mirror Shield was bomb, but yeah, it is very limited to what it can do. Obviously, you get bombs in the game. The boomerang. Bombs essentially are used to blow up cracked walls and certain obstacles. You can also make bomb arrows. Then you get the boomerang. It's one of the strongest weapons in the whole game. In this one, it can destroy a lot of enemies in a single hit. So it's actually used to attack in this game. You get the bow from the town tool shop. This is one of the first games you get the hook shot. The hook shot can be found in the 5th dungeon of Link's Awakening, Catfish Maw. Magic powder. I can't remember what this one does. The magic powder can be used for several things. It can light up torches. Oh yeah, help destroy enemies and many other. It is obtained by finding the sleepy toadstool in the mysterious woods and giving it to the syrup witch. Oh yeah, that's right. You get the magic rod. The magic rod, like the hook shot, is one of the best weapons of the game. It shoots a blast of fire that is not only good at defeating enemies, but also at lighting torches. Like many items obtained in dungeons, the magic rod is used mainly for defeating the boss of Turtle Rocks, Hothead. You get the ocarina in the game, and there's certain areas in the game you can go where you learn songs to play, and the songs do certain things. Pegasus boots. One of the best items in the game because they make you run faster when you hold the button down. You need to use it to knock certain things out of trees, like a secret seashell or other items by running into it. There are also certain puzzles that require you to use it, either running into something or running past something. Power Bracelet 1, you get, and it helps you pick up mildly heavy items. And then if you get Power Bracelet 2, it like literally lets you pick up trees, iron balls, and other things. The Rock Feather, one of the most famous Nintendo items. Like, I've seen it in so many games. But anyways, it allows you to do a flip or jump in the game. Which is awesome because if you play Oracle Ages or Oracle Seasons, you get it also. Like, those games are such a, like, if you played this game and didn't play those ones, Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons are definitely going to give you nostalgia. But you might be better off playing all 3 games in a marathon feature, because that would be awesome. Sorry, I was in the middle of a yawn on that one. But yeah, marathon feature. The deluxe shovel, that's another item you need, because a lot of the seashells are actually under the ground or under the sand. And why not just go run around digging for stuff? I like dug up every piece of land I could find in that game. You get flippers in the game, which help you swim. Link just kind of drowns without the flippers. The golden leaf, there are 5 golden leaves in Link's Awakening. Richard asked Link to go find the golden leaves he lost when he had to flee Canelet Castle after his servants went mad. After Link retrieves all 5 golden leaves, he will give them to Richard in return for the slime key. Piece of heart, obviously it's a piece of heart container. 4 of them give you an extra heart. Secret medicine, Link can buy the secret medicine from Crazy Tracy, who lives near Manbo Pond. She will sell some to Link for 27 rupees. He can also find them in some treasure chests in later dungeons. Medicine restores Link's life automatically after he dies. It's recommended that you save them for the end. Secret seashells, obviously if you find 20 of them. I thought it was more. I thought it was like 99. But if you find 20 of them, you get the Koholint sword. So I would literally go around finding every one of them. Sleepy Toadstool. Sleepy Toadstool is found deep within the mysterious woods. Once Link has found the Sleepy Toadstool, he should take it to the Syrup Witch, and she will make the magic powder out of it. The red tunic can be found at the end of the color dungeon. Link can choose between this tunic and the blue tunic. The tunic gives Link more attack power overall. Blue tunic gives Link more defense overall. So we're going to get into the 8 instruments real quick. There is the Full Moon Cello, which looks like a cello. Conch Horn, Sea Lily's Bell, the Surf Harp, Wind Marimba, which is like a xylophone, or I guess it's a marimba. Coral Triangle, Organ of Evening Calm, which I don't know how Link would run around with an organ in his bag, and the Thunder Drum. Common items you can get in dungeons are the compass, which basically shows you where all the treasure is, and the boss. The dungeon map, which shows you all the areas you've been and haven't been to. Small keys open small door, like normal doors. The nightmare key opens the boss door. Stone slab fragment or stone beak basically do the same thing. There's 1 stone slab fragment per dungeon, as well as a few stone slabs. The fragments work with... so basically Link can read the stone slab once he has obtained the fragments, which give him hints about various things. Basically the stone beaks fix the owl statues, which give you hints also. You get heart containers. But then also you get certain keys in the game to open certain shrines. Like you get the tail key, slime key, the angler key, the face key, the bird key. There's items you can pick up also in the game, like the Guardian Acorn. Occasionally when Link defeats an enemy, a Guardian Acorn will come out of them. By picking it up, Link will have more defense for a time. Piece of Power. This obviously gives Link a boost in attack. Recovery Heart, which gives you one more heart, or I think it's 1.5 sometimes. Rupees, which are the money in Koholint, but also in every other one. And arrows. So I guess you don't find bombs. I guess you have to buy bombs, but you find arrows. There's a trading sequence like we talked about in the game. These are the items that you can trade to get other items and give to people. Yoshi doll. There's a ribbon. Dog food. The dog food is, I think, what gives you the Bow Wow. Bananas. Stick. The honeycomb. Pineapple. Hibiscus. Letter. A broom. Fishing hook. Mermaid's necklace. And the mermaid's scarf. And then there's the magnifying lens. The magnifying lens is the reward for finishing the trading sequence. It allows Link to see things and people that could not be seen before. That's what it does. I forgot about that. Tremendously helpful for the game. So we're gonna go through the bosses. Let me see if I can find the mini bosses first. There's the Rolling Bones, the King Moblin, Hinox, Ball and Chain Soldier. Ball and Chain Soldiers were annoying because they would just spin this huge mace above their head at you and you have to move out of the way. Dodongo Snakes basically was looked like a snake of cannonballs, essentially. Desert Land Mola, Cue Ball, Master Stalfos, Goma. So Goma's obviously a spider. Stalfos is a skeleton knight. Armos Knight. Smasher. The Grim Creeper, which is a skeleton and a fairy, like evil fairy. Turtle Rock, which is a big turtle alligator boss. Another one of those where it's a head that articulates on its neck. Blano. Giant Buzz Blob, which is DX version, and Stone Hinox. Main bosses in the game is Muldrum, which is a worm that you have to hit the tail, or no, you have to hit the head. Bounces around the stage. You can't hit the tail. I think the way you beat the next boss, which is the genie, is use the power bracelet to throw the vase that the bottle that he's in into things. There's Slime Eye, you have to shoot the middle of the eye with the arrows. Anglerfish, you have to hit the little fishy thing while you're swimming. That's fun because you're side-scrolling and doing it. The Slime Eel, another one where you have to hit the head. Facade, which is a face in the floor. You essentially have to throw bombs into his mouth. And when he blows up, then you can attack him with your sword. Evil Eagle. Evil Eagle is the boss of the 7th dungeon, Eagle's Tower. He's fought in a side-scrolling view. On the top of the tower, Link must avoid falling off. He flaps his wings to create wind and shoots feathers, which Link can block using the Mirror Shield. When he flies at or above Link, hit his beak using the hook shot or sword until he's defeated. Okay, that makes sense. Hothead is another one. I don't remember this one, but he's the 8th boss. Turtle Rock. Most of the room is filled with lava. He jumps out of lava, creating 4 fireballs which travel multiple diagonal directions. When he lands, when he is out of lava, a shot from the magic... Okay, you use the magic rod to kill him. And then you get to the nightmare area, and essentially the boss starts as the giant gel, then goes to Aghanim's Shadow, Muldrun's Shadow, Shadow of Ganon, Lin Mola's Shadow, and then Deathel, and then you fight the evil orb in the color dungeon. So, Deathel is basically an eye with 2 rotating arms that try to kill you. The last boss is hard, but if you've gone through all the bosses and know how to beat them and stock up properly, you can beat them pretty easy. Whoa. So I popped over to Amazon, and it looks like you can get the original version for $12.99, and then $79.89 is what you can get it for. Anyways, that's Gamer Daddy, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Please check out my YouTube, where I'll have vlog, I guess. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening. Rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to this podcast. If you want to say hi or have a suggestion for a future episode, you can reach me at gamerdaddypod@gmail.com. All feedback is welcome. The intro theme is Cascade by Cubby, and the outro is A Story to Tell by Sonatix. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next Gamer Daddy. And, by the way, to clear this up, I'm the host, not Josh.